At nearly $100,000 is this 20th anniversary of the Jeep Rubicon with the large V8, the 392. Is it worth the money? Today we'll find out. There's no hood latch inside to pop the hood. The only kickstand we have is an old school one, no shocks in here to prop up this heavy hood. But what's underneath here is what's most important. This is a 6.4 liter naturally aspirated, 470 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque V8, made it to the 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. It is a thing of beauty, and I can't wait to open it up for you guys when we start driving. There we go, nice and closed. The outside of this 392 Rubicon 20th anniversary edition is an eye catcher. People have been looking at this, I call it a truck, this Jeep, so much when I'm driving it through the streets. Let's start with the front, and we have this massive bumper guard here on the front that's unique, but also unique is this grille. You don't see this sort of style grille on any other Jeep that I'm aware of. It's unique to this 20th anniversary edition. We also have the massive hood scoop here that looks so good with the 392 on each side to let everyone know that you have the top engine and the 20th anniversary edition. Now the 20th anniversary edition also comes with a plug-in hybrid, the 4xe, but that's about 20 grand less than this. Not quite as powerful or as quick, but it gives you that unique electric drivetrain as well. But yeah, we have that decal on the hood for the 20th anniversary. We have the Rubicon here. It came out in the early 2000s, a Rubicon. I remember a kid in my school had one, high school I should say, and it was a big deal because small town, first ever Rubicon in the town, and this is giving me like some throwback nostalgia vibes as well. You see the massive tires on here. These are 35-inch tires. We have 17-inch beadlock wheels, and they actually, it's nice that with this 20th anniversary edition with the beadlock, you have a tire inflator. You open up this first, and then the glass just flops up. Here is your tire inflator, and then your cables for the tire inflator are under here. But here, or should I say your hoses. Also, you have this unique 20th anniversary edition Rubicon, a little decal here on the swing gate here. Like any other Jeep, you can take these covers off and just leave the basic frame underneath, which would be a beautiful place to do that here in Florida. We also have the Alpine subwoofer in here, as well as the Alpine sound system. There's a lot of ambient noises, you guys will find out in a little bit when you're driving it, so it's nice to kind of drown out all of that ambient noise, that white noise, with a nice sound system. This Jeep bag gives us some towing straps that are Jeep branded, as well as some gloves in here. Make sure you close the glass first before you close the swing gate. Has a nice heft to it. It probably helps that there's a fat 300 plus series tire on the back. We're gonna be in the back seat. I've been taking my kids to school in this. It's been a lot of fun. As you can see, we have this very durable side step here. It's not that low. Obviously it helps for ground clearance, but also helps the kids just a little bit easier to get into this massive Jeep. My little kindergartner and first grader. So we have Napa red leather on all the seats here, and we have vents for the back, which is nice. You have your window controls right here, because you know you don't have window controls on Jeeps because you might need to remove these if you just want that cool Jeep life. You have a household plug here, as well as 4 USB ports. And I love this strap design here on the back. I don't know how functional that is, but you also have some mat pockets here and a little hook to hang things. And if you're wondering why, Kirk, we have speakers on top, because if you take the doors off, you could lose your speakers in a normal car. Here, the speakers are located inside pretty much the frame of the vehicle. Now, before we get on the inside, I want to draw attention to the seat, okay? So here's your lumbar control. No, we don't have power seats in here. This is in some ways still a rugged old school vehicle. This raises the seat and lowers the seat, and this strap will adjust the tilt of this cushion here. Nice Rubicon 392 on these Napa leather seats. And let's go ahead and get on the inside. I like the handle here, especially if you're not tall. 6 feet tall, I feel like I can just slide into this vehicle. If you're shorter than me, you're probably going to need these handles to slide in and out. This screen is very reminiscent of what I've had in recent Challengers. This 8-inch screen, I believe, is what it is. It's perfectly fine. Gets me to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto pretty easily. I love this soft dash here with the stitching and the Wrangler here on the handle that can also help people brace themselves while you're doing some extreme off-roading. But we know most people with their Wranglers are doing extreme mall crawling or city dwelling. Here's your little ducky. I know ducks are a big thing in Jeep culture, and I just popped this out, but push it back back down. You can sit your ducks up here on the dash as well. We also have a unique Rubicon 20th anniversary shifter here, and we have a little emblem, or at least the front headlights here, even on the shifter. I like that touch. There's so many Easter eggs. I mean, there's a little Jeep over here. Yeah, even if I own this, I don't know if I'd ever find all the Easter eggs. Now, down here is what's important. Here's your 4-wheel drive or 4x4 control with this lever. I've just been keeping it in 4 high auto here in the streets. You also have True-Lock lockers on the front and the rear that are upgraded on the Rubicon compared to other Wranglers in the lineup. What's more surprising though, there are 4 different auxiliary inputs here that you can pick from, which is pretty cool. You also have more USBs right here. You also have your window controls here, which are auto down, but they're not auto up. You have to hold it to go back up. I love the basic volume and tuning knobs here. They get the job done. Very functional, easy for me. Just rest my arm here on the armrest and get to all the knobs here for climate control. We have a heated steering wheel in here, heated seats as well, no ventilated seats. We also have this performance exhaust button. It'll let you know when it's off, and when it's on, you can immediately hear it idle at a much higher and louder noise. This is more of a crawl control feature or downhill assist control. Obviously, I won't be needing that today, but we will play with the paddle shifters on this steering wheel to play with the 8-speed and the 6.4 liter V8. I also like this small little screen over here that lets you know what 4-wheel drive setting you're in. As you can see, I'm getting about 12 miles per gallon with these massive wheels in this lifted truck. It has a 1/2-inch lift, if I didn't mention that. And yes, V8s are quite thirsty, especially 392 cubic inches. One of the great things about Jeep life is the amazing ability just to lift and close the top whenever you want. It kind of reminds me of my Miata days, except I'm a little bit higher off the ground here. Open up the armrest, another USB auxiliary port, and a decent amount of cargo space here for your road trips. The cup holders work really well in here. I love the traditional e-brake here wrapped in leather, which also brings attention to the nice leather wrapped shifters here at the bottom. Buckling up in the Rubicon 20th anniversary edition, I almost feel like I'm as high as this waste management truck next to me. And I can hear it go by really well, and that's something most Jeep owners know, or at least people who've driven Jeeps in the past. Like, you're gonna hear everything outside of the cabin. And I have, you know, the plastic cover to this, and you know, you can also get it with the soft top, but yes, it is not that fast, but what you get in terms of just sheer enjoyment from this 6.4 liter V8, as well as the exhaust. That sound was not with the active exhausts on. So let's go use the paddle shifters again. Downshift here to 3rd gear, 4th gear, pedal down. It's just a little slice of American car making heaven here. Like, this vehicle makes me feel like a little kid. I feel like I'm in a monster truck, massive tires. I'm in a lifted truck, a cute Jeep at the same time, as my wife would say. She says every Jeep is cute, which is interesting because I see every Jeep as kind of like this, you know, rough and tough, very masculine like vehicle, and she sees them as cute. And it doesn't really surprise me. I would say more than half the Jeeps I see on the street are driven by women, at least where I live. Now, the brakes here are pretty good, very predictable. I got hard on them earlier today and it kind of trailed to the left a little bit, so just keep that in mind when you're in such a big vehicle with big tires and you're lifted, that, you know, it might drift on you while you're braking hard. Something also I can't really communicate over camera is the smell. I have a unique smell in here. At first I thought when I was getting here I was like behind a diesel truck, but I have a consistent strange smell in here, and maybe that's just unique to Jeeps. I'm not quite sure, but I'll see you guys down below if you know what I'm talking about with this Jeep smell. Maybe it's only on brand new Jeeps, but I always have it regardless of whether I have the windows down or the windows up, AC on, AC off. I also forgot to mention I have a sway bar disconnect button down here, which I believe is also unique to the Rubicons. But you know, even with the active exhaust on, it's never overwhelming unless you have the pedal past like 50%. So Jeep's done a really good job tuning the exhaust on here, whether this performance exhaust button is on or off, to just make it a very comfortable auditory experience in here. You're never just like going to be surprised by the V8 because, like I said, you're only going to hear it wake up when the pedal's down 50% or more. Oh man. Oh, sitting here idling also just brings a smile to my face. Like, just hearing that V8 chug along. When it comes to ride quality in here, like, it is fantastic. It's very smooth in here. Of course, it just soaks up any imperfection in the road like it's not even there. So like, it's a little bit luxurious, I might say, in terms of ride quality. And then also luxurious with this 8-speed ZF. Like, even though we have tons of power, lots of grunt from this 6.4 liter V8, like, the shifts are always buttery smooth and very luxury-like. It's not fast shifting in the sense of that we see the 8-speed ZF and like the Supra or the Challenger, for example, and the Hellcat. But man, is it so smooth and buttery. You can't see the stoplight ahead of you or above you, so you kind of have to lean your head to the side. Because the price you pay for freedom. Yep, you can hear everything in here, for better or for worse. So let me know how you would equip your Jeep, just like the Challengers on the channel I've had in the past. I know there's a gajillion different ways you can outfit the Challengers, just like these Jeeps in the same, you know, Mopar family. I got the active exhaust on. It's just, oh, I got a you know, flashing light for school entrance, so I better tape it down a bit. But let me know how you would be equipping your Jeep. Like I said, High Tide seemed like a pretty you know, middle ground, pretty good middle ground that gets a lot of these features, and it's about 40 grand less than this with the V8 and the 20th anniversary edition. How much would you be willing to spend on a new Jeep? And let me know if you like this one. Like, I know there's not a lot to dislike about it from just a badass perspective, but it does cost nearly 100 grand. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. Can't wait to see your comments down below. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate it. If you hit the like button for me, that helps me out so much. And thank you for watching my videos that are not traditional Japanese or Korean cars. This is a big year for me. I've been expanding my content, shut down my second channel on EVs so I can focus on my main channel, just growing and learning more about as many cars as possible. And this Jeep, like, my uncle had a Jeep growing up. It was an old Willys Jeep, and this is bringing back a lot of childhood memories for me. So thank you guys for watching. Signing out from the Rubicon 20th anniversary edition with the big fat 392 V8.